Okay, welcome to another Wednesday weekly team prosperity meeting. This is a meeting that goes directly into things that can help you build your business, regardless if you're in the beginning and stage of getting traction, you're trying to grow, you're trying to scale, whatever you are or wherever you are in the cycle. We're trying to get some stuff out that can help you get to those next benchmarks, metrics, and goals that you've set for yourself. We're into late October. This year has kind of flown by. What we want to understand is whatever we've accomplished up to this point, that's in the past. We want to make sure that we concentrate on the present to make sure that we are building the things that we need to do on a daily basis to get the immediate results that we're looking for. But also, that pipeline, the bigger you get that pipeline, the more stuff starts to trickle in. And that trickle can mean the difference between, high income, low income, you hitting the bonus, not hitting the bonus. So just regardless of what time of the year it is, continue to have activity, intention, set targets or objectives, measure that, be accountable, and just do the things that you need to do that you control to build your business. Last week, we talked about basically, not missing your chance to win. You need to start to build the set of skills that will lead you to success and harness your behaviors and hone them to build a positive and effective habits that will help you achieve your goals. Reflection and practice are keys to success. Learn and apply. Reflect and practice is the winning combination. So that was last week. And this week, we are going to get into almost like a piggyback of that, which is getting ahead in sales in a competitive world. Remember, sales is a very lucrative role. If you're good at sales, you have the opportunity to make an incredible living for you and your family. But that requires that you understand what you need to do to get ahead and beat your competition and actually go out there with that plan of action and execute. So if you're going to, win in this competitive world of sales, you have to have, first of all, the desire, not just to compete, but to dominate the market. You're not looking to just be with everybody else in the crowd. You're looking to separate yourself from the crowd and dominate your market. You also need to understand what is going to get the results. Once you understand what gets results, you have to actually do that. And then the AA, the activity plus accountability, kind of the 1-2 of the business plan. And then the most important thing is the grit. Don't quit, refuse to give in or give up. That's the basic business plan of how to get ahead in a competitive world. And you have to understand that you're going to be graded. And just like in school, A through F in school, here we have ACF basically. You have your top performers, you have your average performers, and you have your low performers. You are going to be one of these. It's up to you to put the things in place to make sure that you go on the top 20% of those high performers. And in order to do that, there are certain things that we must understand and we must implement in our business. One is that top performers, if you want to be a top performer, you need to understand where your lead generation comes from. And you need to have multiple sets of lead generation. You need to have that flowing in, because without lead generation, which is the lifeblood of your business as a salesperson, there are no sales, there are no outcomes. So, lead generation is a must. Understanding where your leads coming from and having multiple lead generation kind of spokes in the wheel, very important as a top performer. Also, as a top performer, you got to execute every single day. Not every day is going to be great. We have, personal issues, family issues. Sometimes we don't feel well. Sometimes in our professional business, things aren't going well. But you have to come in and you have to show up and you have to check into the game every single day. And you got to execute. Execution is so important. That's the bridge that's going to go from your goals to the completion of your goals, is the execution. That's the bridge that's going to get you over there. Top performers execute every day. Top performers also understand that we're not trying to be mean or abrupt or rude to people, but we're also not making friends. We're making money. Now, what we do in our business has great impacts on our clients. So you're not making money on the backs of somebody else. You are helping people, but understand, in order to help people, you have to establish authority, and you have to put yourself in a position where they understand that you're the right person to talk to and that you can help them with their problems. Remember, we're here not to make friends. We're here to make ourselves money and our clients money. Also, top performers, they establish authority. We just mentioned this, but when you're in front of somebody, There's a lot of different options out there for them to talk to, different products and services. You have to establish your authority to let them know you are the right person to talk to. And like I just said, that you can help them when you have that discovery period, whatever it is they're trying to do, the motivating factor, the pain point, you can help them get there, avoid there. You're the right person to talk to. Top performers know how to establish authority. Top performers also know how to be assertive, not aggressive. Remember, there's a fine line that we have to walk here. You don't want to be rude. You don't want to come off-putting, because that's going to, have a negative impact on the sales. But you need to be assertive. Once you establish authority and you're the right person that can lead them to the desired endpoint, you have to be assertive about the fact that you are the person. This is the path, and they need to take action. Also, top performers, we know how to disqualify. That is one of the most important things that you can ever learn in business, is how to disqualify people, because the more time you spend with people that you should have disqualified earlier on, more time you're going to waste, less outcomes on a positive nature come into effect. And after a while, it's going to seem like a grind. So whether you're 2 minutes in or 20 minutes in the conversation, you have to know how to disqualify. Top performers definitely know how to disqualify. That allows you to save your time, energy, and resources, that when you do get somebody qualified, spend that extra time with them. Top performers are absolutely 100% obsessed with the next step. If you leave things out in the open or for the other party to take action, you're going to have a lot of follow-up. You're going to be chasing people for no apparent reason. You have to establish the outline, frame the conversation, and be obsessed and lay out the next action step and go ahead and get that in place. Top performers also realize, and this is one of the important things too, this is just a game. It's a numbers game. Don't get attached to any particular lead. Don't get attached to any particular prospect. Learn to enjoy the game. It's a process. And once you understand that it's just a game, you take kind of the emotion out of this and just go through what you need to do to sort people, it becomes a lot easier. Top salespeople, top performers realize, understand, and embrace that this is just a game. Top performers enjoy this. Like I said, it's a process. If you're going to get into the process and dwell on the daily, grind that we need to do to get this built, that's going to weigh heavily on you in a negative way. If you learn just to enjoy the process, knowing, hey, I've already written my own script, I'm going to be successful. I just have to put the time, energy, resources into getting there. Once you decide that you're going to do this, just enjoy the process. If you can get to enjoy the process, this becomes a lot easier, and you're going to attract people into your agency on a partner basis, and be able to, pass that along to them. And then finally, before we get into anything else, top performers, like we talked about earlier, we're not here to compete. We're here to dominate the marketplace. So whenever you're showing up to work, it's not just to check in to be an average or below performer. It is to be a top performer. Dominate, dominate, dominate. That is your schedule for the week. Show up, like I said, not to compete, but to dominate. Top sales performers, they know how to dominate. Preparation today leads to success tomorrow. And that's one of the most important things. Yeah, the day-to-day activity that we do, we're concentrated on the calendar events, the stuff that we need to do, the follow-up, the marketing, but you also need to look forward and say, okay, I'm here. Where do I want to go in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years? Because just like we tell our clients, if you have no idea where you want to go, you have no desired endpoint, you don't need my help to go nowhere. Same thing with agents, same thing with ourselves. We have to prepare and understand, these are going to be days that we build, and then we grow, and then we scale. So wherever you are and whatever you need to do, you're always planning and preparing to take action for the next benchmarks or metrics. And that really means understanding, what is the end goal here? What am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish? And then lay it out. So what are my biggest business goals, priorities for 2023? Like we talked about at the beginning of this meeting, this year has flown by. What are you going to do for the rest of this year? What are you planning on accomplishing in 2023? And then do you have a detailed plan on how to get there? Because remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Lots of people wish for stuff to happen. Hope and pray and wish is not a plan of action. So how do we get there detailed to where we want to go? If you want to get ahead in a competitive world, you also need to understand the qualities of accountable people. Just do the stuff every day so that the other side understands they can count on you. You're going to be there, whether it's a client or a partner or prospect, just basic stuff. Don't blame other people, take responsibility, show humility, review, evaluate, proactively solve problems. Remember, an entrepreneur's job basically on a daily basis is just really to solve problems. So be accountable, understand the qualities of accountable people, and demand accountability not only from yourself, but also your partners and clients. You have to understand, to be and get ahead in a competitive sales world, you have to understand that you're only going to work with certain types of people that are in your persona, that you speak their language, that you want to work with, that you can help, all the things that we talked about before. Who do you work with? Who do you not work with, and why? Once you develop a strong persona, it becomes easier to disqualify. It becomes easier not to waste time on things that aren't going to materialize to anything that you're looking for. Understand your markets, demographic, geographic, psychographic, behavioral, where are they? What are they doing? How are they thinking? How are they acting? The more that you know about your persona, and once again, dialing into a persona, knowing more about them than they actually know about themselves, understanding, the perceived problems that, most of that target market has, and preemptively helping them overcome that. And some of your marketing, your upfront language, you have to know your market. And that means understanding different things. And we've talked about this before. You can't approach different generations with the same message. That's why in your persona, who are you going after and why? Baby boomers, Gen X, and millennials, they have different views of the world based on when they were born and when they grew up. They also have different problems depending on where they are in the life cycle. Can't speak the same to a millennial that you do a baby boomer. So once again, you can't be everything to everyone. Dial into a persona. That's going to help you get ahead in a competitive sales world, because now you're organizing your thoughts, your actions, your marketing, everything around somebody that when you get in front of them, you're ready to speak to them. Target specific people, create that quality audience. Like I said, if you're having the same types of conversations over and over and over again, you're going to get very good and you're going to master those conversations. And then it's just all about overcoming the psychological objections that particular audience has. Once you know those, like I just said, you can start to preemptively overcome those, create that smooth pathway to the outcome. Your keys to success in getting ahead comes from goals, education, risk management, analysis, and a strategic playbook. This is for a client. This is for a partner. This is for you. There are keys to success. And once you understand that strategic playbook, having that playbook and then going out on the field and executing that playbook is going to help you get ahead. You will also have to set up expectations. There are expectations for you, inward on yourself. There's expectations for your partners and your clients. You have to set that out, because part of the expectations is also part of the disqualification process, because either on the expectations, somebody's going to get in line, they're going to follow along, and they're going to meet these expectations, or they're going to tell you why they can't. And if they can't, guess what? Red card, disqualifier. The lead qualification process also allows you to get ahead, because once you understand the lead qualification process, how you're bringing in people on the front side, what that persona is, how you're sorting those people within the persona in different lead blocks, you get to two outcomes: the sales process or the disqualification or the nurturing sequence. So understand, once you get good at this, once you have your persona, you're just sorting people all day long. It becomes very easy. You become numb to the process, and you start seeing, these pipelines being built in different cycles of communication. And then obviously you got a lot of help on the back end for whatever you need. Getting ahead also, you need to understand, just like we were talking about top performers a little bit earlier, they know where their leads come from. You have to have multiple spokes inside that wheel of lead generation, whether that's personal contact, events, online, referrals. You need to be getting in front of your persona on a daily basis. That's important, because once again, leads are the lifeblood of your business. If you have little to no leads, you have little to no money coming in, you're going to drift and probably end up quitting. So understand what you need to do and go out and execute. Front load your business. The more you can front load your business, the more we can help you, and the more outcomes come. And then those outcomes, negative, positive, you're going to get some positive outcomes. The more you front load your business with the persona that you're going after, the easier it's going to be for you to fill up the calendar on your side, the educator's side, whoever you're working with. Front load your business, get as many prospects in that top of the funnel as possible. And we do that in a way that helps you with lead generation, because we're not getting in front of somebody trying to sell them, pitch them, recruit them, anything like that. We're not doing that. We're actually getting in front of people with value-based propositions, giveaway, guides, education. That gives you a position of power on the front end, because you're not expecting anything from the other side other than general interest and a desire to learn the information to improve their financial life. The opt-in is so valuable, guys. The opt-in creates the lead. The lead now has the contact information. Now you've got a reason to contact them, something to talk about. It takes a normally chilly cold call and it warms them up, because now you got a reason to contact them, something to talk about. And remember, being obsessed with the next action step, leading them to that next education meeting. That top of the funnel right here, that is so important. This is what we're talking about, front loading your business. And it's important to get ahead in a competitive sales world. You do that by front loading the top of your funnel, creating awareness, and then educating your prospect to get them in the middle of the funnel, which is interest, consideration, getting them through the bottom of the funnel, which is decisions and actions. You got to raise awareness, and that includes, like we talked about before, being newsworthy, understanding what's going on, rising inflation, rising interest rates, corrections in asset prices. Are people worried about this? Yeah, they definitely are. So what you have to understand is getting in front of people, asking them, getting their opinion. Just, like we always talk about, don't sell, interview people on the front side. It's very basic, guys. Our business model is composed of two ideas: that people have too much debt and too little wealth. If you believe that, then what we do is we go out and we convert debt to wealth, and we create a pathway or a linear equation to get that done. So in your business model, if you're saying, hey, do people have too much debt and too little wealth? Yeah, most of the country does. Well, guess what? That's a big problem that needs to be solved. Before, and we've talked about this, and you need to understand, even when you're out there speaking to somebody, that they just can't sit on their hands anymore. Financial wellness and financial well-being in the past was like a nice to have item. Going forward, it's an integral part of that wellness pie. If they don't have that, the stress and the anxiety and the shortfalls of the financial piece is going to spread into the other parts of the wellness. So getting ahead of the competitive world also means that you are out there, like I said, raising awareness and helping people understand this is not the environment where you can just drift into without the education, without the plan of action, without the execution, or you're going to get run over in this economy. Part of being able to get ahead and be competitive in a sales world is making pledges to yourself, because the more that you can promise yourself and then come through on those promises, it builds self-confidence. And then not only can you start to lead yourself in a positive direction, but now you've got the ability to coach and mentor. Hey, I fixed myself. Let me show you what I did and help you. You also have to understand you're at the right place at the right time. I think that you guys recognize the opportunity. What's lacking most of the time is, in Ray Kroc's 3 rules for success, number 3, you absolutely have to take massive action. If you're not taking massive action, it's probably because one of these things, laziness, entitlement, fear, negativity. You stop thinking in general. There's no goals. You're just blaming others. There's no quality. You're wasting your time. You're thinking too small. You just don't want it bad enough, or you don't believe. So identify what's holding you back, fix it, go forward, take massive action. Because if you believe like I believe, we're in a power position to solve a big problem with legitimate solutions based on technology and superior education. Action, action, action is the foundational key to all your success. Just start making moves. In the beginning, you're not going to be, you're not going to have all the language down. You're not going to have all the verbiage down. You're not going to feel confident in what you do. That confidence is going to come from taking that action and making the moves on a day-to-day basis. And then the repetition of doing that on a daily basis gets you into a position where you're feeling confident. And not only can you go out and hold your own in any conversation, now you're starting to teach other people how to do it as well. Got to get on the phone, guys. Yeah, we have a lot of digital, assets. We have a lot of technological things like tools that we use, automation, but you are the driver of your business. You have to get on the phone, you have to talk to people, you have to raise awareness, you have to start interviewing, sorting people. And like I always tell you guys, I'll take the worst phone call that you ever make over no phone call at all. You cannot be competitive without taking the bat off your shoulders and swinging many times. Our bat is the phone. You've got to get on the phone. You got to get comfortable on the phone. Once you have enough phone calls, now you're going to get better. And so those earlier phone calls that didn't really materialize, later on, they will materialize based on the fact that you're getting better at what you're doing. You've got to anticipate resistance. When you're out there talking, raising awareness, your goal is to get your prospect talking. So if you're out there just talking, you're never hearing the other side really say anything, that is a bad sign. Get your prospect talking about what? Their goals and their problems, because at the end of the day, everything we do is a pathway that connects to a desired income or a desired outcome. That's the goal, or to avoid the problem. Sell the appointment, sell the education, sell the information, not the product. When you look at, for example, like, sometimes on TV, they'll have like the final table of a huge poker tournament. It's really exciting. Guess what? The first number of days of that tournament wasn't exciting. So you have to understand, same thing here. Everything's not going to be exciting. Boring makes you money. The sooner that you understand that and digest that, the easier it's going to be for you to build a business. So the activity, the way that you follow up, how you approach the day-to-day business. Contact business is your number one priority. So get on the phone, start talking to people, raising awareness, establish an authority, helping them understand why you're the right person to talk to, or we're the right people to talk to. But contacts equal contracts. And this is one of my favorite, ways to look at really what you need to do. So if you want to master the art of the conversation, increasing your pipeline, it's just really about reverse engineering and dissecting it all backwards. And you guys have seen this before. You've got to build rapport. You've got to build trust and credibility. That's the beginning stages that allows the other side to start talking. What do we want them to talk about? Their problems, their goals. That's the information. Their information uncovers a problem. Now we can interject ourselves back in the conversation with a solution. And guess what? The action step that we're obsessed with. But without some of the bottom of the pyramid, you never get to the top. So understand what you need to do to increase the flow of your pipeline and master these conversations. You just got to get better. No matter what you're doing in the business, no matter what role you are right now, no matter what role you're trying to take on in the future, it's about learning and getting there and implementing what you learned and getting better at what you do on a daily basis. Being competitive means that you're constantly practicing getting better at what you're doing. And you've got to do those three things. We talked about this, time and time again. You got to build, engage, sell. You're not always selling, but you are always building and engaging. You're selling at the right time to the right person, but you're always building and engaging. Remember, the quality of your network. If you can upgrade your network, guess what? That's going to upgrade your business. You don't want to just build a huge audience that's just, random people. You want to develop that persona and try to get as in front of as many people in that persona as possible. And then as you do that, once again, those conversations are going to be repetitive. You're going to be better at what you do. You're going to feel more comfortable. Quality over quantity. Like I said, if somebody's in your persona, I'd much rather talk to one person in my persona than 5 people out of my persona. So you have to understand first and foremost, what is your persona? What is it that makes somebody a quality prospect, and then go after them. There's a big difference between networking and marketing. We talked about this before. Part of being competitive in the sales world is understanding that not everything's direct marketing. A lot of times you're out there just talking about yourself, your business, showing interest in other people. That's how you build interest in what you do. But just out there asking for people's opinions, seeing what they do, how long have they been doing it? Are there any problems they've had recently with whatever it is, just go out there and talk to people. Open conversations, like I said, can lead to that information. The conversation comes from the other side. That uncovers a problem. We introduce a solution and an action step. So not everything's direct. A lot of things can be indirect. The combination of both of these things will greatly benefit your business. And just getting out there and connecting with people. My persona is, small business owners, And guess what? I need to be talking to small business owners every single day. And if you're struggling with lead generation and you understand the value of doing things like networking, find small business owners, go after them, see what they're doing, look at their websites, drop them notes, whatever it is that you need, try to get in front of as many people in your persona daily. If, like I said, if you're struggling just starting your business, go out there and manufacture some of this. This is the era of big data. You have access to tons and tons of information these days. And that includes online directories. There's a tons of people that if they want to be found, they want to, they want their information online. So if you're going after things like, CPAs, real estate agents, insurance agents on the partner side of your business, understand you can find those people online. And then finally today, what I'll leave you with, guys, is being competitive in a sales world and getting ahead as an entrepreneur. You have to understand that during what's going to be coming up pretty soon, which is downtime, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, what are you going to be doing with that time? Well, for me, I've got plans to do the normal things that I can't get done, when I'm having direct activity in my business. That's, reading, learning, getting some stuff changed, in some of my infrastructure, but just preparing to win. So understand that during the downtime, when direct activity into your business is not really viable, understand the importance and the value of just continuing to learn, get better at what you do. So that's all we've got for this week. I appreciate you guys, in anything I can do to help you. I always say, if you or your partners are working on the business, we will definitely be there to help you work on it and get better at what you do.